before we export this as a PDF. So I want to get that logo in there. So remember we put this image in here by drawing a rectangle frame and then going File, Place. So, and we can see in our links panel where that file is, that path comes from. You can also not draw a rectangle frame and rather just, oops, I was in the frame tool, so it just when I clicked on the artboard that it thought I wanted to draw a rectangle. So I'm just going to press exit or escape, excuse me. I can click on a selection tool to kind of make sure that doesn't happen again. So, so if I don't want to actually draw a frame, I just want to place something, that's absolutely fine as well. I recommend always drawing a frame for an image because it allows you to maintain the placement of that image really well, as opposed now when I just go File, Place, or Control D, and I'm going to locate that logo. You'll see when I do that, before I click on anything, that kind of my cursor now is kind of loaded with the file that I'm going to place. So now when I click on anywhere on that page, it places it. So when I go back to my links panel, you'll see now I have 2 files there, and that file is massive. So if I press my W and zoom out by pressing Control 0 or minus, you can see that it's a massive logo. So if I had actually, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. I'm actually pressing down my space and my command to zoom in and out. That's really a nice hotkey to do. So command and space bar. But if I had, again, drawn a frame and gone File, Place, oops, excuse me, what am I doing? File, Place. And now found that logo again. What's nice about this is that that image is now really massive. So if I go Object Fitting, it just kind of gets it perfectly for me. As opposed to, again, going back, File, Place, locating that image. It's this massive thing. So now I have to kind of fiddle with it a bit. So it's a little bit tricky. So I need to actually click on the black, click on, if I notice, if I click on the resize the frame, it's going to resize the frame, not the image within the frame. So that's kind of annoying. If I click on my white, it actually is automatically drawn a frame. So there's basically a frame there. Control Z to undo that. So it's kind of fiddly. So one thing you can do though, that's a bit tricky though, right off the bat, is I can resize the frame and the image within it at the same time. So for instance, if I now go right click, Fitting, Fill Frame Proportionally, and I click on it using any of my arrows, and I click on, hold down and drag one of those control handles by holding down the Option Command. And if I do this properly, Option Command Shift to do it proportionally. Option Command Shift. Now, oh, it's actually duplicated it. Option Command Shift, and I hold and drag. You'll see that it's resizing the frame and the image at the same time. I'll do that again. Command Option Shift, grab one of the handles, click, hold, drag, and I'm resizing the frame and the image at the same time. As opposed to if I just click on the black arrow key and I'm just resizing the frame, it's not resizing the image at the same time. So then you have to then go in, click on the white arrow, resize the frame, resize the image, or go do that fitting. And that's a little bit tiresome as well, because now I have to go and resize the frame, resize, reposition it. I mean, maybe it's just a little bit laborsome personally. If I change it now, move it to that margins, and now I go right click, Fitting, Fill Frame Proportionally, then the logo's there. I can also go back to Control Z, click on, you'll see I move it over to the side of it, click on one of the control handles, Option Command Shift, click, hold, oops, is that not right? Fitting. It's just missing some of it. It actually is missing some of it. So I'm actually going to hold down the Shift key, image, and get it to, actually, this is a good thing to teach you. So I'm just going to holding down one of the side control handles and holding down the Shift key so I can get that image within the frame. And now actually one thing that's useful is I go Fitting, Fit Frame to Content to Frame. No, Fit Frame to Content. Yes, there. So now that's perfect. And now when I click down and hold Option, Command, Shift, drag and hold. I'm getting resizing the image within the frame and the frame at the same time. So I get it kind of small. And now when I move it, it's kind of what I want. I'm just going to zoom in, Command plus, and I'm going to maybe move this up a little bit and make this text box maybe to there. Maybe a little bit smaller. I still have to get the URL in there as well. So don't forget about that. And then maybe, oops, that goes to the margin as well. Command 0, W to kind of see it. Not bad. Not bad. So play with that. That might be a little tricky at first, but just be really aware that you can go File, Place an image without creating a frame first. There's different ways to do it. There's different benefits to it. I often, for the big images, I always want to draw a frame just to make sure that I get it right to that bleed line. But things like logos, you might just want to go File, Place without drawing a frame first. You do have a frame, so it automatically draws a frame, but you're just going to have to fiddle with the sizing of it and the size of it.